Hi, I'm Natasha. Today we're going to go over how to do flying pigeon pose and flying grasshopper pose, two very deep hip opening arm balances. So we're going to go over wrist prep, shoulder prep, core strength, and then we'll do a lot of hip stretches, how to externally rotate the hips so that we can get into the arm balance. It does require a great bit of flexibility, so you might just do this class with me, work up to it, and then just keep doing it until you're ready to fly. We're going to start by circling the wrists. We are bearing weight down on our hands, so really important you take some time to prep. We want to fire the muscles as well so that we're more likely to be able to get into the pose. Blink those fingers out, push the shoulders down, start to fire into the forearms, and then elevate the shoulders and do the same thing. Blinking, draw the belly in, activate the core, pull the ribs in, blink really fast. We're gonna flex the palms, point them down, flex and point. These things look so easy, but they're quite challenging. Flex and point. Can you make a fist and then put a little bit of weight in the top of the hand and then flex out? We'll do that 2 more times, and you might have to loosen your fists, that's okay. And then open, and then fists down. Go ahead and open up the fingers. Put a little bit of weight on the top of the hands, push the shoulders down, maybe wiggle the fingers, and then let's come into tabletop. Spread your fingers wide, knees under hips. Start to roll and jet the shoulders over the fingers a few times in both directions, and then sideways, peeling up the palms, little break dancer. Bring the fingertips towards your knees and shift forward and back. See if you can maintain that connection of the palm into the mat, stretching the insides of the forearms. Breathing. And again, a nice counter stretch. We can take fists down, maybe hover, start to protract the shoulders, scoop the belly in, and then bring your hands down. Tuck your toes under, walk yourself out to plank pose. Grip into the mat with all 10 fingers, push the shoulders down, gentle tug of the tail, firm the belly, firm the quads, and then press up on the very tips of your toes, gaze ahead, and then start to walk back. We'll hang out here in a forward fold and just let some flexibility start to happen in the hamstrings and some relaxation in the neck and the spine. Anything that feels good, rocking, swaying. Maybe taking the hands to the base of the neck and swiveling the elbows forward. I think that feels great. Allow your head to be heavy. Challenge yourself by dipping into the toes, kind of turning on the core and into the heels, dipping into the toes. And when you're ready, ragdoll it up. Elevate the shoulders like you're doing a handstand on the ceiling. Push up, pull the belly in, tuck the tailbone, and then reach on down. We'll start to plank walk. Walk out. Engage everything. Push the shoulders down, gaze ahead, squeeze the belly up, quads on, shoulders protracting, walk back. Ragdoll, maybe circle the wrists on the way up. Elevate the shoulders, gaze up, tuck the tailbone, pull the belly in, come on down. So we do want to be able to have a strong chaturanga when we're ready and prepping for our arm balances. So let's take a chaturanga. You can always come down to knees, chest, chin, but ideally you do have the strength to do some nice yogi push-ups, maybe 5 in a row. Could be a goal to build up to nice form. Let's try 3 here. Elbows into the ribs, gaze ahead. Strong shoulders, elbows in, shoulders down. Walk it back, and the last one we'll try 5. Ragdoll up, circle out the wrists, inhale, stretch up, hollow body, exhale, come on down, walk out to your plank, fingertips forward, elbow crease, wraps forward, engage the triceps, push the shoulders down. Here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring the knees down, stretch it back, wiggle those hips. Again, maybe you take a little counter on the wrists. All right, so the shoulders are nice and prepped, biceps. Let's go ahead and take it into a boat pose and start to wake up the core a little bit more. Your core is on in planks. So let's go ahead and bring the knees together and find a half boat. And then we're going to do a compression tuck, knees to chest, heels to butt, push forward. You can take half boat or full boat now. We'll tuck. Here's 9, 8, tuck tightly, press the shoulders forward, protract, hug the heels in. Here's 6, I think. Here's 5, 4, 3, stay with it, 2, and 1. We're going to take it down to low boat. Hollow that body in, so think of engaging the glutes upward and pushing the sacrum down. We're trying to just hold here, and we'll come low to high. 10, exhale, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Low boat, rocks. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Did we make it? And release. All right, I think the core is ready. The shoulders are ready. Let's take some stretches. Come into a mini pigeon, maybe a 90 degree knees, and allow the hips to settle. We need a lot of external rotation to come into our flying pigeon and our grasshopper even more. Push gently the knees down, and then let's just roll over to the other side. Settle through the sit bones, spine is straight, internal, external rotation, and then just do that a few times. Hip mobility work. Good. We'll try to come into pigeon with no hands if you can by swinging the toes back and then finding your pigeon. Shoulders over the hips, hip flexor quad, and then that right hip is rotating. Put your fingertips down and just settle here. Allow the hips to open. So if you need more time, just pause the video and really work on pigeon, and the next exercise or stretch I'm going to give you is probably the most important one to really find the hips open enough to get into the pose. Breathe here. Let's go to the other side. Rotating. No hands if you can. Tuck the toes, knee down, stretch. And then fingertips, focus on squaring the hips and externally rotating that front hip. So finding the breath, finding your edge, and trying to surrender into the stretch. Good. All right, have a seat. So we're going to take your foot like you're wearing a stirrup, straighten, and then pull the knee behind the outside of the rib cage, flex, pull back and forth like you're just kind of prying that knee, and gives you a little bit of extra arm work too. Good. Now we're going to try to keep that foot flexed, rotate the ankle and shin towards the chest. Here's where the work happens, and this is really the only way I can get into my lotus pose, is by really working on rocking until I can get my ankle and shin into the chest. Keep breathing and rotating the hip open and the knee open. It shouldn't bother the knee and ankle. Keep that foot flexed, and then just keep working on easing and breathing. Good. We'll do the other side. Bend and straighten. Pry the knee behind the armpit and the rib cage. And then working on your twist. Hips open, external rotation. Twisting of the hips. Good. Shin and ankle trying to pry inward. And then hopefully you can eventually hook the foot onto the elbow crease. And then just keep kind of rocking and guiding the ankle and shin towards the chest. So that is the mobility that you'll need to keep that foot on the leg on the arms. Take a few breaths here. All right, we're going to come to a standing figure 4 stretch or pose. Good. Flex the right knee up, foot strong, push into the left foot, and then we'll cross the ankle over the left quad. So you don't need to be into half lotus. You want to keep that foot just in a nice line. allow the body to sink into it. Again, working on the external rotation of the right hip. We can try to bend and straighten. Eventually we're going to need to get those hands down to the mat. So again, you might just be working on your flexibility for a while. Then we're going to take those hands down, bend the elbows like a shelf, and try to get the shin and the leg up onto the arms as high as you can. They do need to be above the elbows. They don't need to be up into the armpits. So hug the elbows in towards the ribs. Allow your toes to wrap around. That's going to help you if they can hook on. And then lean forward like you're doing crow pose. Press your fingers wide, index finger forward. Shift your weight. Maybe you just stay here and work on the strength of the shoulders and the core. If you can, we'll try to extend that bottom leg up. Shift forward. Remember, hook. Use those toes to hold on to the arm. Bend and try to kick. Push the shoulders down, engage the core, kick the leg up, squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. See, my foot's falling. My hips are really tight. Hopefully yours are more open. And then to get into flying grasshopper, work on both sides today. I'm just going to show you one. Two ways. You could start seated. I prefer to start standing, but we'll try and get the tricep to meet the foot. So work on how high you can get the foot. Ideally, it has to be above the elbow or it's going to slip off. But in this one, you get your bottom leg to hold the foot on. So let's try. I'm going to come from standing, but just know this might be an option for you. Okay? So figure 4, same entry, elbow hooks onto foot as high as you can. Hands come to the mat. We shift our weight forward. That bottom foot can help hold the foot on, and then Chaturanga arms. Gaze forward, heart forward, flex the foot, breathe, strong body, pull the core up as you melt, and then come on back. Release it out. Take a child's pose. Shimmy the hips. Rock through the forehead. Remember, there's no judgment. This is all just a journey to get through to poses, building up strength and flexibility. Take your time, do a little bit each day, and then be sure to try both sides. Let me know if this helped you, if you have any questions, and I'll see you soon. Bye.